Supreme Court immigration ruling, America's defining moment. A historic turning point for millions. This is it, a moment that will go down in immigration history. The Supreme Court of the United States has just handed down a landmark ruling that's shaking every corner of the immigration world, from border states to federal offices to family homes across the country. Legal experts are calling it the biggest constitutional moment in immigration law in decades. And for millions of immigrants, families, and workers, this is not just a legal update. It's a shift that could redefine what fairness and justice really mean in America. This isn't politics. It's power being rebalanced. The case that changed everything. Let's rewind. This case began with a single, crucial question. Who decides how immigration laws are enforced, Washington or the field officers on the ground? For years, the federal government and state officials fought over that question. At the heart of the debate was one simple but life-changing issue. Should every undocumented immigrant be treated exactly the same? Or should the government have the authority to set priorities, focusing resources on those who pose genuine threats, not on parents, students, or workers who have built their lives here peacefully? That single question reached the highest court in the land. Why it matters? Think about this. An undocumented man convicted of a violent felony. A mother of two, living in the U.S. for 15 years, paying taxes, raising children, staying out of trouble. Should both face the exact same treatment? The federal government argued no. The system must be fair, humane, and realistic. The Supreme Court agreed. In a 6-3 decision, the court ruled that the federal government does have the power to set its own immigration enforcement priorities. But, and this is critical, those powers must operate within constitutional boundaries. Due process, fair hearings, and accountability are non-negotiable. The meaning behind the decision. So, what does this really mean? It means the days of blanket enforcement, where everyone was treated the same regardless of circumstance, are over. The government can now focus on what truly matters: public safety, fairness, and humanity. Immigration enforcement must now strike a careful balance between justice and compassion. The Supreme Court just put that balance into law. This isn't about opening borders or ending enforcement. It's about enforcing the law the right way. The new standard of fairness. For years, immigrant rights advocates have said the same thing. Enforcement should not equal fear. And now, the highest court in the land has echoed that belief. The decision sends a clear message. The U.S. can protect its borders and uphold human dignity at the same time. Enforcement must target real threats, not families who've lived quietly and productively for years. That single clarification could change how thousands of cases are handled from this point forward. Immediate ripple effects. The impact? Massive. Removal proceedings. Deportations will slow down, not stop, but slow, as agencies review their processes. Every person now retains the right to a fair hearing, the right to counsel, and the right to appeal. No more fast-track removals without due process. Enforcement focus. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, USCIS, and DHS now have legal support to concentrate on high-risk cases, individuals with criminal records, national security threats, or fraud concerns. Families with U.S.-born children, long-time residents, and people with no criminal background are now officially low priority. Deferred action programs. The court also reaffirmed the government's power to manage humanitarian programs like DACA. That means programs offering protection, if lawfully structured, can continue or even expand in the future. It doesn't guarantee change, but it opens the door. What happens next? Short-term reality. This ruling won't transform the system overnight. Agencies now face weeks or months of policy revisions, staff retraining, and case reviews. During that transition, things could get confusing. Expect delays in deportation proceedings, paused or reopened non-priority cases, uncertainty as new guidelines roll out. Immigration attorneys say this is the time to stay alert and document everything. If your case is active, every paper, every deadline, every hearing matters. Missing even one appointment could undo years of progress. And that's why professional legal guidance is no longer optional. It's essential. Clearing up the confusion. Let's address what this ruling does not do. It doesn't grant green cards. It doesn't expand visa quotas. It doesn't stop deportations altogether. What it does is require every action, every arrest, every deportation, every hearing to respect the Constitution. No shortcuts. No exceptions. No abuse of power. That's the difference between a system that enforces the law and a system that honors it. United States reaction across the nation. The reactions have been explosive. Immigrant advocates are celebrating this decision as a major civil rights victory, a moment of recognition that fairness still has a place in the system. They say the court has reminded America that justice must include everyone, not just citizens. But critics see it differently. They argue the decision could slow enforcement, clog courts, and weaken deterrence for illegal immigration. The divide is clear, yet one truth stands out. This ruling may finally force both sides to face the same reality. America needs a modern immigration system. What comes next? This ruling could become the spark that reignites comprehensive immigration reform in Congress. Lawmakers are already under pressure to clarify outdated laws, reduce backlogs, and ensure consistent enforcement across all states. At the same time, federal agencies will start rewriting internal rules to align with the court's guidance. That means months of policy adjustments, potential lawsuits, and yes, more political battles ahead. But make no mistake, this ruling has changed the tone. The conversation has shifted from punishment to precision, from chaos to consistency. What you should do now. If you or your loved ones are in the immigration system, here's what matters most right now. Stay updated on every policy memo or USCIS announcement. Keep your documents, notices, and records organized. Attend every court or biometrics appointment. And above all, speak to a qualified immigration attorney. Do not take advice from random social media posts or unverified YouTube claims. This ruling creates opportunities, but only for those who act wisely and lawfully. Every case is different. Every life is unique. And now more than ever, knowledge is protection. Hope, dignity, and the road ahead. This Supreme Court decision doesn't fix every flaw in the immigration system, but it does something powerful. It restores hope. Hope that the law can be fair. Hope that families won't be torn apart overnight. Hope that the system, after years of fear and confusion, is slowly returning to humanity. For countless immigrants who've lived quietly, worked hard, and built a life here, this moment is more than a headline. It's validation. It's proof that justice still has a voice in America. And while the fight for true reform continues, this ruling has drawn a clear line. Immigration enforcement must be constitutional, accountable, and compassionate. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.